Our third presentation today will be with head coach Tim Camp of Eastern Oregon. Coach Camp, as I mentioned earlier, is listed on the NAIA's head coaches list in terms of his success there. Enters his 17th year at Eastern Oregon, has an overall record of 82-84. And as I also mentioned previously, Tim has he had 42 of his young men in his program last year receive the academic all conference recognition. So I'm going to turn the time over to Coach Camp for him to make his presentation, and then we'll allow some time for questions from members of the media.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. Again, my name is Tim Camp. I'm the head football coach at Eastern Oregon University. I'm here with our quarterback, Quincy Glasper, and one of our defensive backs, Blaine Shaw. So we're super excited to be on the program today. What a great opportunity it is for Eastern Oregon University to be in a conference, the Frontier Conference, which again, I've been here. This could be my 19th year at Eastern, but at the end of the day, being the head coach, what a privilege and honor it is. But the Frontier Conference has only gotten tougher. So again, we're very excited for the season as it comes through. I think Eastern Oregon University is a place where a young man can come and expect to play great football, have an opportunity to get a great degree, and also be a part of a great community that has a tremendous support for our football program. It's one of those places that the kids come here and they don't want to leave, right? So again, hopefully that has something to do with our athletic department, our professors, and everything like that. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I can guarantee you, I have a great group of young men coming in this 24 class, this 24 football program. I can guarantee they'll represent the Frontier Conference and Eastern Oregon University on the field and in the classroom in a first-class fashion. So again, just super excited to be here and be a part of this. I do have two new coaches that I've added to our football program. And those guys are our offensive coordinator, Leon Liddell. He'll be taking over the offensive calls. And then I have Solo Taylor. He'll be taking over the defensive calls. The one thing that I did is just kind of moving forwards within our football program. I wanted to do what was best and what was right for Eastern Oregon University and the football program moving forwards. I think that we always talk about EKGs, Eastern kind of guys, right? And I really do believe that Leon fits in, and he's the kind of guy that is going to go to work and has gone to work. We had a tremendous spring offensively, very, very little change in what we're doing and how we're doing it. But at the same time, I think that he's an exceptional coach. And I think that you guys all know who Solo Taylor is. Solo Taylor was one of the best linebackers at Eastern Oregon and one of the best linebackers in the Frontier Conference for years, right? So again, watching his defense, our defense, come out there and play in the spring, and watching the way that they ran to the ball and how they approach things, the buy-in was instant on both of those, on offense and defense. So very excited about that, and kind of the brand of football that we're going to be playing, and we want to continue to play to get Eastern Oregon back to where we need to be, and ultimately being able not only to compete in games, but to win games and win a conference championship and continue on into playoffs. It's been done before, it'll be done again. But with those two guys leading our offense and defense, I feel really, really comfortable about that. I've added some other position coaches. I've added Willie Camp as the wide receiver coach. I've added Carson Brown as our offensive line coach. And then I've also added Brian Piper, and he's going to be coaching the linebackers. So this will be fun. We have a good group of coaches that come into work every single day. And I think that's the big thing that as I look back and being at Eastern Oregon for so long, being able to look at our coaches and having guys that are not afraid of work. They want to come in, they want to learn, they want to mentor young people. And I think that's the one thing that this group has done a really good job of. Now we can always be better, right? And that starts from the top, and it's continuing to coach coaches and coaching players and doing the things that we need to do. Moving on, I believe that we've reloaded and revamped our roster. I think that we have depth at every single position, and I think that there's going to be a lot of competition coming here in the fall when we open up on the 12th. I think that being able, like I said, to compete and win football games and be able to close out football games is going to be super important for our football program. My expectation is to be able to finish games, right? And that's going to be something that we've been focusing on not only in the spring, in the winter time, but also coming up here in the fall camp. That'll be the first message, being able to have an offense that's led by an experienced quarterback is going to be really huge for us, and then also to have Blaine in the back end, who's played a lot of football for us and being two really, really solid leaders and some of the best that I've been around since I've been here. So very excited about that. We have several key games that are home this year, which is exciting. Although I do love to travel to Montana, been doing it for a long time. We get to go to Arizona this year, which is awesome. Get to go back to Spokane and play Whitworth. We got Simpson College coming up to play here in LeGrand. So again, we want to do our very, very best to get started out fast, but at the same time be able to continue to build as we go through fall camp and also into the tough Frontier Conference season. But I think those two non-conference games will help us tremendously to continue to build the competition that we're going to need here at Eastern Oregon University, right? I want to talk to you about strengths by position. Again, I just mentioned Quincy Glasper from Stockton, California. I think that Quincy brings experience and talent, maybe one of the more talented quarterbacks, if not the most talented quarterback, obviously, in my opinion, in the Frontier Conference. Unbelievable young man, but he's going to be the leader of our offense. I think wide receiver wise, we have a talented group coming back. We have Malachi Spurrier from Yakima. We got Walker Camp from LeGrand. We got Jonah Blackham from Boise, Idaho. And then we got Colton Kesey from Vail, Oregon. And then we got Parker Robinson, who we moved from running back out to slot receiver at the coming from LeGrand, Oregon. So very, very talented players. So I'm extremely excited to see the carryover from that position group into fall camp. We got a big, strong offensive line. I think led by Tanner Nett I think Tanner could be an all-conference kid for us. He's from Boise, Idaho, 6'5", 330. He's played a lot of football for us. We got James Gray at the center position. James is 6'4", 320 from Pullman, Washington. And then we got Ramsey Herring, who played a lot of football for us last year from Banks, Oregon. So excited for those guys to return. Now we have brought in some guys. We got a 4-year transfer, Jonah Hayes, coming in. He's 6'4", 340. We got another young man, Lecky Vea coming in from Sierra College. Again, he's a 6'2", 320, 325 kid. And then we got Keenum Greenbaum from Butte College, who was here with us in the spring and has played a lot of football. So we're pretty excited about our offensive line being able to run the things that we run. Eastern Oregon is deep at running back. We got Brody McMillan, who actually the 1-2 punch with him from LeGrand, Oregon, and then you got Anthony Peterson from Winnemucca, Nevada. Waylon Rydell from Estacada. I know a lot of guys know about him. And then we got Reese Dixon from North Powder, Oregon. So we're deep at the running back spot, although we did bring in 2 other running backs. So I think that are going to be able to continue to build that competition. That's all we want. We want to talk about competition all the time. We want to put our best 11 out there at all times. So again, pretty excited about the running back spot. Defensively, we're going to be led by a strong secondary, right here with Blaine Shaw. I think Blaine Shaw is, again, one of the toughest players. I think everybody knows about him in our conference. And again, I think that they try and find where he's at. But at the same time, Blaine has played multiple positions here at Eastern Oregon. And you talk about a great leader and a guy who is a stand-up guy. Blaine Shaw's that guy. We also got Jason Grant from Toppenish, Washington. Going to be on the roof this year. Sasiah Ross from Boise, Idaho. And then we got Juan Avalos, who's played a lot of football from Villa, Washington. So we feel really good about our back end, who's played a lot of football. And we're gonna obviously, we got Peyton Howe. We got a couple other guys that we got a lot of reps in the spring. So we're pretty excited about seeing who works well together back there. But super excited to watch him play. I think we're gonna have a disruptive defensive line. I think Tyler Exline from Banks, Oregon's played a lot. He is a worker. He is a guy who is, at Condo this morning. He's the vocal leader of that group. So excited to be able to see him play. And then we got Sam Cadenas from Hermiston, Oregon. And then we got a couple transfers, junior college transfers, TJ Price coming from Feather River. And then we got Nate Kinsey coming from Diablo Valley. So we're trying to add depth, and we're trying to have competition. We're trying to bring in and be able to rotate guys so they don't have to play 60, 70 plays a game, but we want to be fresh and be able to go out there and do that. But I'm really excited about that defensive line group coming through. And at the linebacker core, we made a couple of moves. We moved Gabe Shuckle from down at the end anchor spot, and we moved him back to a linebacker spot. And he's from LeGrand, Oregon. We got Jonas Waugh from Puyallup, Washington, and Jonas has played a lot of football for us, and he's a very good footballer. He always finds himself around the football. And then we got Neo, who is from Prosser, Washington, who I think eventually can be a really, really good linebacker in the Frontier Conference and in the country. So he picked it up really, really fast in the spring. So I'm excited to be able to see who he is. And then for our special forces, I think we got two kickers coming in, but we're gonna start out with Tanner Shattuck, transfer. He was with us last year. He's improved so much over the course of time here, from the season last year to the fall, or to the winter, to the spring. Enjoyed working with him about every other day in the summer. So again, he's going to be carrying the bulk of those duties. And then for our return game, we got a handful of guys that I think that the first thing I look for is who can take it the distance. And I think that we got a handful of guys that are going to be able to do that. So the progress has been made offensively and defensively, and also in the special teams game. So I'm very excited to be able to watch our football program go out there and, again, not just compete, but go out there to win, right, and learn how to finish games. Finally, I'd like to thank our president, Dr. Kelly Ryan, for her support, and Angie Weisenflew, our athletic director. They have a vision for our program. They have a vision for athletics. And again, we want to do everything that we can to be able to go out and represent Eastern Oregon University, the Frontier Conference, in a first-class fashion. And then finally, bear with me, I always do this. I've been doing it for 17 years as the head coach. I want to thank my wife, Jenna Camp. She's a special lady. It's hard to be a coach's wife, but she does it, and she does it with class. So again, thank you for the opportunity to speak about Eastern Oregon University. It really comes easy for me. I'm very proud of the school, and I'm proud to represent the Frontier Conference. And the one thing that we want to do is we want to be able to play smart, we want to be able to play fast, and we want to be able to play together. And that's Eastern Oregon brand of football. Thank you.
Excellent, Tim. Thank you. Members of the media, are there questions for Coach Camp and or his student athletes? Kyle Dodds, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Kyle Dodds with EO Alive in LeGrand. So my question is going to be mainly for Quincy, but Coach Camp, feel free to address this as well. With two new offensive coordinators in your first 2 years at EOU, how have you made that not a distraction? And what have you told the players? I mean, you're the offensive leader. What have you told your guys to kind of make that not take away from what you guys are doing?
I feel like it just came down to like how Coach Cam just said, like the offense isn't too much different than the offense we ran last year. And then at the same time, I feel like it's just a buy-in on our end. Like, they give us the film that they want us to watch. They give us all the plays, the playbook, like we get installed, all that stuff is all headed out to us. So I feel like it's all in our hands. It's nothing too difficult. And if it was, I don't think Coach will put us out there to set us up for failure. So I feel like we're pretty confident and we like the offense ourselves. So it's not too bad.
Dodzy, I'll go ahead and answer that too. This is from my standpoint, this was the first offense I ever learned, right? I mean, this was an old Blaine Bennett from Central Washington, and it's just been added on as Zach Tinker doing those things. And I always say, the coach is very important, but the players that you have, we can run any offense we want to run, but we have to have players to do it. And that's why I believe this offense here, Quincy is so much more comfortable in this offense. Our backup quarterbacks are so much more comfortable just because of what we're trying to get done. And again, credit Leon. He's done an excellent job of explaining it, what needs to be done. But at the end of the day, the O-line coach and running back coach got to show up every single day, and we got to get him some time. We got to get these quarterbacks some time. As you guys watched last year, that was one of the things. We had discussions about it all the time. We had to be able to protect him. You can have anybody you want back there, but when they're running for their life, it's not working out. So again, I am very, very confident on what we're doing and how we're doing it and having answers. And again, I was telling Leon this coming out of offensive meetings the other day. It's like I went back in college coaching 25 years, and we're on the same page. I understand exactly what he's talking about. So obviously that would be a lot easier for us to explain it to these young men on a daily basis, because the offense is what it is, right? Every offense has its own unique things, but I think this one here fits our quarterbacks a lot better. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.
Kyle, is there a follow-up question?
No, thank you, Quincy. Thank you, Coach Camp. Thank you, Blaine.
Other members of the media, do you have any questions for Coach Camp? I'm going to take a moment of personal privilege. Tim, I just appreciate all the service that you give to the Frontier, especially at the end of the year when we go through and work on the selections for I'm drawing a blank on the terminology. You know what I'm talking about.
All-American, yeah.
All-American, exactly. Thank you. And your enthusiasm and your excitement to do that, and in your role as the coach liaison to Frontier Conference football. Thank you for that service.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to dismiss our friends from Eastern Oregon and thank them for making time for us today. We look forward to your upcoming season and wish you all the very best of success in the fall 24 campaign. Thank you.
Thank you.